Good morning, everyone. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. I love what I do, and I love what I learn from the thrivers that I choose to work with. May I talk to you about one of those thrivers? His name is John. He, along with his partner George, have a highly successful and growing real estate development company. John loves his family. They enjoy being together and especially doing things together. Among many things, they are actively involved in making a difference in various charitable ventures here and abroad. By all outward appearances, in other words, what everyone sees, John is extremely successful. You know, the legendary coach John Wooden said that the true test of a man's character, however, is what he does when no one is watching. Recently, my friend John was on a train heading into New York City for a business meeting. As the passengers were deboarding, he noticed one passenger in particular who was navigating his way through the crowded passengers. He was blind, and it seemed to John that nobody was paying any attention to him. John felt like the right thing to do was to see if he could help him. He didn't want to offend, so he chose his words very carefully and asked if he might be of assistance. The man accepted his offer, took hold of John's arm, and off they went. As they went along, it was obvious to John that this man had done this before. In spite of, or maybe because of, his blindness, he knew the exact number of steps as they climbed up the stairs. He pointed out that they'd be turning left just past the McDonald's, and on the right was this, and on the left was this, and so on. And he also kept urging John on, saying he was going too slow. So John picked up the pace a little bit, but John was careful. He was worried that going too fast might be dangerous. They got to the train just as the doors were closing. Instinctively, John thrust his hand in the closing doors, but to no avail. The doors shut anyway. He looked down the tracks and sees the conductor walking towards him and yells out to please open the doors. And the conductor looked at him and ignored him. So again, John asked, please open the door. This man is handicapped. No response. The conductor now is right by John, and the train is beginning to inch forward. Please, can you open the door? This man is blind and he needs to catch this train. The conductor ignored them both, and they missed the train. John felt horrible. John didn't know what to say. He told the man how sorry he was. The man was angry. I told you to go faster. Again, John apologized and offered to help him get to where he could wait for the next train. The man said, I don't need your help. Because of you, I missed my train. And now I have to wait almost an hour and a half for the next one. Just leave me alone. John felt terrible. In fact, the emotion that John mentioned to me several times as he explained it was that he felt sad. And as he was walking away, John looked back and he could see that the man was somewhat discombobulated. So John quickly returned, asked if he could at least help him get to someplace comfortable that he might be able to wait for the train. But the man snapped back saying, no, you've already caused enough trouble. I'm better off by myself. Now that was not the ending that I was anticipating. Have you ever done something for someone and afterwards said, that's it. That's the last time I'm doing something like that for anyone? John was not that way. John told me he felt sad. See, it's what a man does when nobody's looking that determines character. Because John had no regrets. He knew he did the right thing. He said he would have felt worse had he ignored his impulse and left wondering why no one helped the blind man, not even him. You know, knowing the right thing is not the problem. Doing the right thing is the challenge. I know John. He's not going to go around talking about this ungrateful man. However, he is going to share the story with his family. They will talk about this experience. They might even name it. Perhaps they'll name it a blind moment. And it'll represent that moment where you do the right thing because it is the right thing and you have no idea of the outcome. Tony Blair once said, "Sometimes it's better to lose and do the right thing than to win and do the wrong thing." There are so many lessons that this blind moment can teach us. How about you? Can you think of ways you could use this story to help you become a better decision maker? Not only before you make the decision, but also how you respond to the one thing that you have no control over. And that is how someone else responds. In the future, when faced with a decision, might you be able to say, is this a blind moment? And then make the right decision? You know, the time is always right to do the right thing. Thank you for being here today. And thank you to those of you who share these Meaningful Mondays with others. Let's make life even more meaningful. I look forward to being with you on our next Meaningful Monday. I'll talk to you later.